It's okay. I'll start over.
Go ahead. Tell me who you are.
Okay. Hi, I'm Marlena Hadeen. I am a 4-star diamond coach, and I've been a coach for 4 years in November. And I would say that my biggest struggle, even till today, from being a new coach to now, is comparing myself to other people. And I think that is a huge one for pretty much anybody in this business, is to see other coaches that have started at the same time as you, or even, top coaches that look like they have it all together and are like, how can I be as good as them? I'm not as good as them. Or a coach that started at the same time as you and you're like, why are they already diamond? Or it's not like, I feel like I'm doing what they're doing. I'm working so hard. I'm putting in all these hours and I want to be successful so bad. And I need to do what they're doing. I need to do what they're doing. And just comparing. Like, I learned, but I still have to stop myself. I learned to take notes, take ideas, but don't feel like you got to have that tunnel vision. Like, I feel like if you're consistent and you be you, like, just be you. Like, I feel like we overthink our post, we overthink everything. And if we were just like, what am I doing today? What's on my mind today? I'm just going to share what's on my mind, and made a post about that, and just kind of kept that tunnel vision, and maybe look at other coaches for inspiration or ideas, but to just kind of take it with a grain of salt and be yourself, and know that in faith, the right people are going to find you that are meant to be on your team and that are going to help you be successful together. And just having that tunnel vision, and you got to have that faith like you do in whatever you believe in, like God or whatever. Like, I literally, when I first started, had the faith where the right people were going to find me. Like, I just know they are. And I had that faith. Like, I don't even have to worry about being successful. I'm going to be successful. And when I started thinking like that, instead of, I would always ask Melanie, like, how do you find these rock star coaches? Like, how do you find them? Like, you have all these rock stars, they all come to you. And she was like, you got to be consistent. The more consistent you are, they're going to find you. And I did that. And there would be nobody that would show up on my live, on my live coach calls or my sneak peeks, and I would literally have like one person on there, but I was consistent all the time, and I kept that tunnel vision, and I just kept doing me, and the right people did find me, and I started seeing success in my business. And so it's just like crazy that this is like a full-time thing. I'm a single mom, and because I kept that tunnel vision and had that faith. And I still compare myself to other coaches because, you always want to get to the next level. But I feel like if you just have that tunnel vision and you're consistent, like Melanie says, consistent, but it's super, like, even if nobody joins, consistent, and keeping that tunnel vision and being genuinely you, that you're going to overcome that. And you're going to accept yourself more, and you're going to be a successful coach because the people are going to follow you that relate to you. So that's my biggest struggle and how I overcame it.
Hi guys, my name is Melinda Bessnies. I am a 2-star diamond coach on the Dream Team, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my journey. So when I first started, I was working full-time, and part of the struggle that I had during that time was balancing a new baby. My son was under 1. I had a 40-hour job. I had daycare, a commute, and I was running challenge groups. So I really struggled with how to kind of make that all work. So I just kind of stepped back and created a schedule. I work really well with a calendar and agenda. So for me, that meant getting up 30 minutes early to check in with my challengers and get my workout in the morning, because I knew it wasn't going to happen later in the day. And then once I got to work, it was time to work. And so I would check back in on my lunch break with my challengers, post some content, and then get back to work, and then do it again at night after my son went to bed. So just being really purposeful with my time, and not feeling guilty about it, because sometimes I would be at work thinking like, oh my gosh, I've got to post on Facebook, but I had to keep my job. So just really setting good business hours and sticking to it, and knowing that at the end of the day, if you put in everything you could, that you're doing a great job. So I hope that helps.
And currently I am a 1-star qualifying, and I think that the hardest part for me was definitely the inviting, and I didn't want to sell to my family and friends, and I didn't want to tell them my story. I was just nervous about everything. So with inviting, how I overcame that was I thought about why I started, and I wouldn't have done it if somebody didn't say to me that, hey, you should try this. So I heard someone say this once, and it stuck with me, is that what if you answered someone's prayers? Like, what if they've been watching you this whole time, but they're too nervous to ask you what you were doing, and they're shy, because we've all been there. We've all been that girl that was just too shy to ask what the cool kids are doing. So, you know, what if you reach out to that person, you answer their prayers, and now they have a purpose, and now they have a support system, and now they have someone that's always there for them. So now you can change someone's life. So just by taking 2 minutes out of your day to send an invite to somebody, like if they don't write back, who cares? It's nothing lost, and they're not going to hate you for it because you just invited them to good health and fitness. But let's say they say yes, then now you grow, they grow, and the whole world's better because of it. So that is how I overcame that.
Hi, I'm Katie Bryant, and I'm a diamond coach. And I would have to say my biggest struggle with the business was being so scared of putting myself out on social media and not being confident, and just being a very private person. So sharing things about my life that I didn't share with anyone, even like just little things, just seemed really scary to me. But then once I started doing it, and the more I realized, the more I shared about what I struggled with, and the more I shared about how I'm just human like everybody else, the more people could relate and connect to me. And it's just one of those things that you just literally have to just do and put yourself out there, and consistently keep doing it, and the more you do it, the easier that it gets and the less of a struggle it really is.
Hi everyone, my name is Kendra Zaru, and I am a one-star diamond coach. And I'm just going to share with you a little bit about my experience in coaching, and it's one of the hardest things I've overcome. To be honest, when I first started coaching, I wasn't even on Facebook. So I would say primarily that was the first thing for me. And the reason I wasn't on Facebook, because I'm a very private person. I went through a really rough experience in my life, and I just didn't want everyone knowing every single thing about me. There was a time in my life when they did, and I felt like without having Facebook, I had some privacy. And so the idea of, I desperately wanted to be a part of helping people change their lives and making a difference in people's lives, but I was really afraid to get on Facebook and start posting, and because it felt very egocentric and just very uncomfortable for me. And so that was probably the hardest thing that I had to overcome, was realizing that I can still be on Facebook in a positive way and be encouraging to people and share a little bit about myself without having to reveal everything. So,
Good. I'm Abby. I'm excited that Rachel's doing this video because I think it's good to hear from other coaches. And I have a couple struggles. I'm sure they're not, it's probably what everybody else has said too, but I'd say the first one for me is time, because I work full time. My husband is a firefighter, so he's gone a lot of nights, a lot of weekends. I have a 3-year-old son, and I travel for work, and it's a pretty demanding job, and so finding those pockets of time is something that I've had to become very disciplined in. But I would say it's definitely doable. You just have to be strategic with how you use your time and really efficient in your power hours. So I will make sure I'm up early, getting workouts in, and I actually don't do a power hour. I have like 10 or 15 minutes here and there until my son goes to bed at night, and then I do a couple hours there. And then the other thing I would say that's been the hardest one, which I think is so common, is just confidence. You know, it's funny because these programs, or Shakeology or Clean Eating, has completely changed my life, and I'm sure it has for most of you guys. But then suddenly thinking about sharing it or sharing about the business just makes you all clammy inside. And what's funny is that, like, it's literally changed your life, so why wouldn't you want to share it? But there's just that fear of what other people are going to think of you or judge you for, or like sweaty selfies, because I never posted on social media before becoming a coach, ever. And I think for me, just getting out of my head and realizing, like, I was invited to a challenge group once and I was so excited to do it. And then with coaching, I literally just watched my coach for about 3 months and didn't do anything. She would have never known that I was interested until I pulled the trigger. And so just knowing that, one, people are encouraged, and the worst they can do is say no, which is not terrible. And if you're being authentic to who you are, the people who know you and love you will know that, and they won't block you, they won't be mad at you. So just be yourself and be confident in what you're called to do and how this business has shaped you, and share that. And it's pretty cool.
Hi guys. Hey, so Rachel asked me if I would talk about a struggle and how I've overcome it in my business. And I would say my biggest struggle was with my husband, actually, with Matt, who is cooking somewhere. He's not here right now. He's downstairs. So he was the most unsupportive person that in this business imaginable. I mean, he pretty much did everything to sabotage my business, from not watching the kids when I was listening to a team call. He would purposefully tell them to go ask mommy for something. If I would shut the door, he would let them stand and bang on the door for hours. He would be texting me if I was at Fit Club and I wasn't home exactly when I said he was, and he would speak to me for an entire night. I mean, he made it as difficult, and he would actually publicly make comments in front of other people about what I was doing. And so that was really hard, because I was having a physical transformation, and I really loved Beachbody, but he didn't understand what the company was. And in his mind, it was network marketing, and he just didn't get it. So the way that I overcame it was not to quit, because that would have been the easy thing to do. And there were many nights where I questioned whether or not this was going to be for me. But I started to slowly do things like show Matt what I was doing on the computer. I started to say, look how I helped this person. Or I tried to include him in the conversation. Hey, what would you do in this situation? Even though I knew what I was going to do in that situation, I was like grasping at any way to get him to kind of see that I was actually, this was a business. He would also say to me, like, what the heck are you doing on Facebook all the time? And so I would show him how I ran my business. And that really helped. But for us, it was actually going to events. It was Summit that I made him go to reluctantly. And it was him listening to the company, Carl and Jeff and Michael speak about Beachbody's mission, about their business plan, and talk about the future of the company, and then meeting other spouses was where the key sort of started to switch. And it wasn't, sorry, they're making big and it wasn't me, So it wasn't me actually forcing him to do Beachbody or do the workouts, but it was me leading by example, him watching, and me just creating opportunities where he could be surrounded by other people. And so we overcame that, and that is our biggest success, I would say, and that took 2.5 years in the making. So that wasn't an instant fix, but that was a huge obstacle that I could have let just completely annihilate my business. So encourage your spouses to get involved by just being a great example and providing opportunities for them to see the business.
So, hi, my name is Rachel Mitchell, and I wanted to make this video for you guys just so you could see that you're not alone in your struggles, that even these top coaches on the Dream Team, the #1 team in the network, have struggles, and they have fears, and they have insecurities just like the rest of us. And so I wanted to share what mine was. And I think that my biggest struggle, honestly, has been myself, and just fear. Fear of what people would think, fear of what people would say about me if I started posting online, if I started inviting people to come work out and to lose weight. Would people think I was targeting them? But honestly, guys, what I have come to realize through personal development and through running these challenge groups and helping people get their own fitness results and just talking to people is that people want to be helped. People want to be invited. People want to be a part of what we have to offer. And some people just don't know how to get started. And so what we're offering as coaches is just a plan, basically, and support. And so when you invite someone to a challenge group and to try a workout program in Shakeology, you're just giving them a plan. And you're offering to be their friend and to help them and support them and encourage them. And so honestly, fear used to kind of hold me back, but now I use fear to fuel my fire. Fear of what if I don't invite someone? What if I don't reach out to someone who really needs help but is afraid to ask? What if I don't invite someone and they join somebody else's challenge group? So fear is not necessarily a bad thing. If it's holding you back, figure out a way to overcome it. Dig deep into your personal development. Realize the benefit of the compound effect, of consistency, of, doing these 4 vital behaviors that we talk about so often. And then use fear to fuel you forward. Fear of what could happen if you don't stick with this. Fear of what could happen if you don't reach out to someone who needs the help but might be afraid to ask. So that's kind of been my biggest struggle. Even through these whole 2 years, I still have to overcome fear, and it's something that is totally worth it and that I work on a consistent basis. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity and what it has done for my family and for myself. So go get them, guys. I hope this helps, and just use these people, these examples, these struggles, these methods for overcoming in your own businesses and moving forward. Okay, bye.